This one's going to be a little hard to address. So, you know, the crypto community surrounding cryptocurrency projects, communities versus developers. How do we put all this? It's a small space, right? And there seems to always be a lot of headbutting going around in the entire space, as there should be, because how do you get better and how do you get growth? Well, you iron sharpens iron. So to a certain extent, that's going to happen. I think there's some negative sentiment surrounding like crypto communities from a developer perspective, and the inability, you know, they feel like I think individuals that are in the community don't understand the complexities of blockchain. And then the community is always putting a huge burden on the back of the developers to make the price go up, and it puts a lot of pressure on it. And then I think a lot of these projects collapse because the devs just decide to go do something that they can actually make good money on, especially in the layer 1 proof of work space. Now, a while ago, there was a project called Ethereum, which implemented essentially Blake 3 into the ETH hash algorithm and enabled basically EVM on a layer 1 blockchain that is only mineable by GPUs currently. It was a pretty big deal. Now, one of the main developers for that was, of course, Tagknife. And on 2/19/2025, he posted a community update, which was the future of our chain is in your hands. He said, I want to address something that's been nagging me all year. There seems to be an expectation that I should be responsible for everything on the chain, deploying dApps, driving use cases, and defining how the network evolves. But that was never the vision, and it's important to set the record straight. My role versus the community's role. My job, as defined in the white paper, was to build a proof of work EVM chain, a decentralized, stable, and open foundation. That work has been done. The network has been running in its Shanghai upgraded state for months now, proving its stability and features work on proof of work chains. But a blockchain is only as strong as its community. It's not up to me to dictate how the chain should be used. That's your role. It's up to the community to shape the network, create dApps, deploy smart contracts, and define its future. An EVM chain needs dApps and ecosystems to survive. Without applications, there's no purpose, no use, and no future. Right now, engagement is low, and if that doesn't change, the project won't survive. There's not much I or anyone else can do to change that if the community doesn't step up. This reality became painfully clear when, after every single release, the immediate response was, what's next? Instead of building on what we've delivered, growing the ecosystem, or utilizing the tools we've developed, the expectation has been that I should just keep doing everything. As a developer, that's insulting. Imagine putting in months of effort to push out an update, only to have people ignore what was released and immediately ask for the next thing. That's not how a healthy community should function. Now, I think that the base premise of basically being a community is a false premise in general, and these projects are extremely difficult. So I understand the frustration from the developer's perspective here. I really, honestly, I get it from Tagknife. Here's the thing that needs to be like brought up in general is like, it seems like the devs always want to put the price not going up on the community and vice versa, right? The community wants to put the price not going up on the devs because not enough's getting work's getting done. The fact of the matter is both people are at fault, right? The fact is that everybody is using other proof of stake options for their DeFi. A majority of the liquidity in the crypto market is either in a store of value in Bitcoin or it's being traded in Solana meme tokens. And there's not a lot of money flowing into these smaller layer 1 projects because, well, frankly, there's just not a lot to do on them. Now, I don't know what the state of the tools are on Ethereum, which is now Hypera, been rebranded to Hypera. I don't know what the state of the tools are there. I haven't looked into it in some time. Maybe I can. But, you know, if people aren't building those big projects, then there's not going to be any success there. And by and large, this is a problem with everything, right? This is the problem with Ethereum Classic. This is the problem with Ergo. This is the problem with, I mean, like even Radiant, right? I've deployed on Radiant. Those tools are great over there on Radiant, by the way. And there needs to be a lot more people building. But until there's stuff built on the projects, there isn't like a lot to do, and the community's not seeing it. Other things like wallets that actually function well, all these types of things. Like, how can you expect anybody to put any liquidity into a token that you own or you're mining unless there's actually something to do on there, right? And so I think that's what this really is at the end of the day. And here's the big downside to it, right? Overall, which is what he mentions, is that there's a fixation on price. So another issue I see is the obsession with price over development. A healthy blockchain grows through utility adoption and community effort, not by chasing listings and price pumps, which by and large, I mean, the reason why Solana is popular is everybody's chasing new token launch price pumps. That's literally all crypto is right now. We've talked about this numerous times over the past few months. It really honestly is destroying the altcoin market in general. It probably is one of the highest contributors to a lack of an altcoin run or altcoin cycle, this cycle. And it's not working, right? The reason why proof of work from a GPU mineable perspective was so successful previously was because of the amount of people building NFTs, dApps, DeFi platforms, all of that on Ethereum. As much as we don't want to admit it, that's what it was, right? The community collectively raised $35,000 for a Bitmart listing, but after getting listed, almost no one traded there. As a result, we were delisted, a complete waste of funds that could have been put towards development, marketing, or real ecosystem growth. Price follows utility, and this will always be true, by the way. If you want the chain to have value, build things worth using. Don't speculate about it, make it. The project has never been a pump and dump or get rich quick promise. And I think this is a misconception as well, because and the thing is, there's different participants, right? And this is the hard part. As miners, our job is to secure the network. It's not to be a part of the community. It's not to be a developer or to deploy anything on the net. All our job is, and I think this gets misconstrued too, so I'm going to say this to Tagknife. You can't expect me to mine your project if you don't have the utility and the actual price to justify me mining and providing security to your project. That's my role. That's our roles as miners, right? The community, I suppose, role, which it's not been, the community's role as of late is to just buy the token and try to convince everybody else to buy the token so they can dump on their heads. The community members in cryptocurrency right now are the biggest pieces of shit in the whole fucking space, and they're retarded. They are trash human beings. A community should be building the tools. Just like he said, I agree with him. The community should be using the tools or building the tools that make the blockchain usable. That's what the community should be doing. Forgot to use the beep. Damn it. Now, I think that there are good community members that are building things. Yes, it's not everybody. And a majority of those community members that piss me off are buying meme tokens on Solana, and they have nothing to do with any of these L1 projects in the first place. I get that. But everybody has their role. And like as a miner, the role is providing security in the network. That's what you should be focused on. That's already a full-time job, right? A developer that's working on, providing, the base level development and the tools to deploy the dApps and everything, that's their job, right? Everybody has their role. That's like Tagknife's job here. And then there's the community that should be, in theory, building the applications and the projects that people want to utilize on the platform, right? And it really, so somebody in chat says, like, is there a platform for those tools though, or does the devs need to create the platform first? In most projects, those tools are there. Now for Hypera, which is a good question, let's see what they've done here recently. Let's go look at the Hypera crypto. let me see if I can get over to their website and let's take a look at what tools they got, right? Because this is a good question. Is he says that they're all here, right? But is that true? Now I know you can integrate into EVMs here, right? So yes, the tools are here. If we go to GitHub, bridge circulating bridge contracts. Yeah, so if it's fully EVM integrated, then yes, it's all here. Now, do they have, so for example, do they have, if I say find out more, do they have the guides and the ability to learn how to do it with wikis as good as like Ergo, for example, or kaspa? Right, the kaspa wiki is really good. No, not necessarily, right? But this is something the community could do, is the community could build out, you know, the wiki for Hypera and say, hey, where do I get, you know, the guide to do here? How do I deploy a contract to Ethereum? A lot of this is really going to be if you have one specific EVM dev that is familiar with all that, he can put together a wiki to help people deploy. That sort of stuff probably in theory should be done by the community. Yeah. But that's a good question, right? It definitely doesn't look like as built out as like a lot of other projects right now, though. I will give you that, right? This is the next topic. Let's skip that for a second. So RetherSwap offered me full control over their platform and I refused. Why? Because it goes against the very principles of decentralization. This is exactly the kind of thing I'll keep talking about. People expect me to take control. Now, I haven't used RetherSwap. Maybe that's a good thing to Google. But my understanding is RetherSwap's down. So that's gone. As far as I can tell, it seems like Hypera's done skis, boys. Well, this is posted on... Yeah. Yeah. I think Hypera's toast. I mean, the chain's there, though, if somebody wants to build on it. There's that. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Show. If you would like to see more from this particular episode, take a look up here. Don't forget to also subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support me directly, you can go to sonofatech.locals.com and become a member. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next Tuesday.